Well, man, it all started for me back in 1998 when I got back from living in Arizona for a season of my life. And as I got back, I moved in with a couple of roommates of mine. Really during that time, the season of my life consisted of me getting high and really getting drunk almost every single night. This one night, my friends and I, we were getting high and we were taking some knife hits. And as we began to get high, as we were doing this, God spoke so clearly to my heart. And he just said, Josh, if you die tonight and you don't change your life, you would go to hell. I made up an excuse to go to bed. And as I laid there in my bed that night, I just prayed a simple prayer and just said, God, if I'm going to change, I need your help because I can't do this by myself. I woke up the next morning, never had the desire to do drugs again from that moment on. Fast forward to February 1999. I found myself at Powerhouse Gym working out, 5-6 days a week. It was a way for me to kind of just really start straightening my life out. This one specific day, I met this guy. I never saw him there before this day. I never even saw him after this day. But for some reason that day he was there. And we began this conversation and somehow we started talking about church. And I told him, I was like, man, I would really like to go back to church. I just don't know what church to go to. And she said, hey, why don't you come with me to my church this Sunday? And I was just, really just encouraged that he would even invite me. And so I was like, absolutely, yes, I'll see you there this Sunday. My parents lived right around the corner from the church, and they lived on Virginia Way, which is where I grew up, 16 years old and older. And the funny thing is, I didn't even realize that this was a church. I thought it was only a school. I remember sitting in the very, very far back corner of the sanctuary, the very last seat in the corner, which now there's a little plant there, this little fake tree that's sitting there, and that's where I sat. I saw the guy that invited me. He was part of the worship team. He played bass, and his name was John Jackson. He invited me to come down to the youth ministry the following Wednesday, March 10th of 1999. That I went to the youth service, and to be honest with you, I felt a little awkward, and the reason why is because I was the oldest kid there. I was 20 years old at this time, and here I am going to this youth ministry that everyone else is younger than me, and I sat in the very back once again. And as I sat there, the youth pastor preached, and he gave this altar call, and 8 people came forward to receive Christ. And I just knew, man, my heart was pounding and saying, Josh, you need to go forward. And I was kind of prideful because I'm like, oh man, I'm the oldest kid. I'm not going to go up forward. And he paused. He just said, I really feel like there's one more person that needs to come forward. You've been waiting for God to open the door. The door is open. Are you going to walk through it? And I knew right then that God was saying, now's the time. And I got up and I went forward to give my life to Christ. I went forward to surrender everything. And it was that one invite that changed my life.